Dressed this way, she's a Navy wave. But beneath that uniform, she is the Wonder Woman doll. And now you can create your own Wonder Woman adventures with these other dolls. Major Steve Trevor, Nubia, Wonder Woman Super Foe.
Gotcha, Major. Wonder Woman, hurry! I'll save you, Major, as soon as I tie up a few loose ends.
Wonder Woman, Major Steve Trevor, and Nubia dolls sold separately. By Mego.
Welcome to another episode of the Wonderful World of Wonder Woman. I'm Paul.
I'm Mark.
And as it turns out, if you remember our last episode, we were thinking that maybe Etta Candy was going to get her, her time to shine.
Yeah.
Because we thought we were about halfway through the season. Turns out, no, it's the 13. So lucky 13 for us.
Yeah.
So we decided we're just going to do a big series finale for you guys, talk about the couple episodes we watched, including the finale, and whatever else comes to mind.
Yeah, we're going to wrap up season 1 for tonight.
But the bulk of it will be discussing the season finale.
Yes, which will be the Wonder Woman in Hollywood.
Wonder Woman in Hollywood.
But first, we're going to talk about episode 12, called The Bushwhackers.
One of my personal favorites, honestly.
Just like you said, Walt, without her magic belt, she's just another woman.
Efforts to stop the theft of cattle needed by the army go awry, leaving Wonder Woman captive and without her magical belt. But help comes from an unexpected source, a group of war orphans turned buckaroos. And our cast, of course, Linda Carter as Diana Prince and Wonder Woman, Lyle Wagner as Major Steve Trevor.
A war hero.
A war hero, yes. Richard Eastham as General Phil Blankenship. The aforementioned Beatrice Colon as Etta Candy. Our very special guest star, Roy Rogers. He plays J.P. Hadley, who is the rancher providing cattle to the army. Then Henry Darrow as Walter Lampkin. The famous 70s child actor Lance Kerwin, here sort of an older child actor compared to the other kids in the episode, playing Jeff Hadley, the son of Roy Rogers' character.
Yeah, rest in power, Lance.
Yeah. Anthony George as Emmett Dawson, who is our bad guy, I believe.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes. David Clark as Sheriff Bodie. Then Christoph St. John as Link, one of the children. So we have a whole bevy of children here.
A bevy of buckaroos.
Bevy of buckaroos, yes. So Christoph St. John as Link. Christelle Gaspard as Babette. Justin Randy as Freddy. David Yanez as Charlie Bright Eagle, who plays a significant role in the episode.
Mm-hmm.
Carrie Wong as Sen. Rita Gomez as Maria. And then we got, don't really remember what he did, but Murray McLeod as the Man. Not sure what he...
Who is the man? Murray. Bushwhackers is one of my favorite episodes. The reason why Roy Rogers is in this episode is because, it was for kids. It was a bit like watching a Hopalong Cassidy, because at the end of every Hoppy episode, he'd tell kids to drink their milk and listen to their mom and wash behind their ears, that kind of
He
thing.
kind of does that with the kids in the kitchen scene.
Yeah, that's what Roy Rogers kind of like rides on that.
Yeah.
I like the episode a lot because it's like it's not always about Nazis, because these guys were basically like the mob was
they were running the black market,
for
just themselves,
beef.
Yes,
basically, because Roy Rogers' character was raising beef for the war effort, so they did tie it into the war.
Correct.
Well,
and he was sort of the best friends with General Blankenship.
Yeah,
and that's how he got Steve sent.
Yeah,
because who better than a war hero to stop cattle rustlers? So
get trapped under a giant rock.
Yes.
But yeah, no, I like that episode.
Yeah, I mean, I don't remember it from being a kid, and so it doesn't hold a special place for me. But I mean, I thought it was a good episode. I thought I agree that it was kind of a break from the Nazis, and so but again tied to what people were doing in the war, trying to profiteer off the war. So I thought that was a good idea. I think Roy Rogers was understated. Like he did all of his Roy Rogers stuff, but it wasn't an in your face guest star. So I like that. I thought Lance Kerwin was great because he actually got to play sort of the bad guy a little bit because he's jealous of these orphans taking up all the time with his dad. So he sort of betrays his dad, or not sort of does, betrays his dad to the mob. I think it's interesting that the sheriff is the bad guy too. So the sheriff is on the payroll of the mob.
Yeah, that actor that plays the sheriff, he's one of them guys that like he comes on the screen and you just go, bad guy.
They're like, yeah, I think we both said that.
Yeah.
We're like, oh yeah, he's the villain for sure. I also really, really enjoyed Wonder Woman's Western outfit.
Yeah, as a kid, it confused me. Like why? All I can imagine is like Roy Rogers being like, the shucks and bygum kind of, kind of like, can we maybe cover some of that up? There's kids around here.
Yeah, I liked it. Yeah, I thought it was good. I mean, it was different.
Well, the thing too I want to point out about it is, and I brought this up when we watched it, but the director, okay, Stuart Margolin, who I know more as Angel from Rockford Files. It was Jim Rockford's ex-con thief buddy, scoundrel type guy who was always getting into trouble. And I think he was on an episode of Magnum PI, maybe. Well, he always kind of plays like the down and out loser kind of character. Well, it turns out, in my opinion, he's a pretty damn good director because he directed that episode. He directed the $2 bill episode, which we didn't talk about because the story was not that great.
Not his fault that it wasn't a good episode.
But the way it was filmed was wonderful. I mean, they took a very limited couple of locations, shot them from a lot of different angles, and it had pacing. And yeah, I think he was a good TV director.
I can't take it anymore. Year after year after year, I'm going out of my mind. Your stupid, ridiculous lies and games year after year.
In my windpipe.
Oh, look at me.
Hey, Jimmy.
Just don't say anything. Just don't say anything.
Jimmy.
What?
I'm sorry. You want a stick of fruit gum?
I think the part where Steve gets literally put in a trap, I think is probably one of the best. That's probably my favorite part.
Oh, the big
where
rock.
he gets caught, he falls through the trap, almost like a trapdoor spider trap.
Yeah.
And then they put the rock over him and like, well, he'll be dead. And so I think the mob I like the fact that the mob just goes right for let's just kill him. It's unlike the Nazis.
Yeah.
So
The Nazis would have tied him up, put him on a U-boat.
knocked him out.
Yeah, knocked him out, tied him up, put him on a U-boat. Wonder Woman would have to save him.
Right.
This time she just had to move a rock like Jesus.
Yeah, basically. It could have gone wrong in so many ways. This is one of those episodes where there's, I mean, as we said, a bevy of buckaroos who were. I thought they did a really good job portraying very realistic kids.
Yeah,
they argued. They were. Some of them were depressed because they were war orphans. I mean, we get the one kid who's traumatized, can't talk. The Native American boy, Charlie. And so I like that. It was much more. They weren't smarter than their years, you know. They were just kids, and so that I thought that was a good job.
And let's face it, most child actors are annoying.
Correct,
and
as we talked about before.
Yeah, and this group was not.
No.
And so then that brings us to
the finale.
The finale,
Wonder Woman in Hollywood, or aired in 2/16/77. So the finale was ended middle of sweeps week in February. Wonder Woman and, in capital letters, Wonder Girl, as we cheered when we saw her, are in Tinseltown. Good thing, too, what with enemy agents kidnapping the GI heroes who are taking part in the filming of a wartime spirit lifter about their exploits. And this episode, Wonder Woman in Hollywood, through the magic of editing, we have Wonder Woman. Of course, as always, are for the final time together, and all of them in it, Linda Carter, Lyle Wagner, Richard Eastham for the last time, Beatrice Colin for the last time, all appearing in it. And then as our director of the GI film, who also is a Nazi, so we're back to Nazis, Harris Yulin as Mark Bremer. I like this. He's another one of those frustratingly nameless but omnipresent character actors of the 70s. That's pretty
exactly
good.
how I would describe him.
That's good. And then we get, I think one of my favorite parts of the episode is we have Robert Hayes of Airplane fame.
Yeah.
Playing Corporal Jim Ames, and we'll talk more about that. Christopher Norris, the female actress playing Gloria Beverly. She was in Airport 75.
Oh,
so we get Airplane and we get Airport.
You know, Nick is watching this episode going, "Come on, you idiots! Did you read my book?"
Correct.
Link down below.
Yep. Charles Cyphers is Kurt, one of the Nazis. Alan Bergman as the frustrated director. And then we have returning, we have the lovely Carolyn Jones as Queen Hippolyta, and the as lovely, of a different generation, Deborah Winger as Drusilla and Wonder Girl.
It's a good thing that Etta Candy didn't go along with them to Hollywood, because she would have fell hook, line, and sinker for the first, sleazy producer to come along, and they would have, much like the next season, she'd never be seen again.
Right. Yes. Oh, God.
I don't like this one as much. Okay, let me rephrase that. Okay. There's obvious reasons why, as a kid, I liked this one. But it's not as good as some of the other ones. For a finale, it wasn't. It didn't have enough punch to it. I rephrase it. I did like it, but I thought in my mind I was remember it being much more exciting.
Okay.
And I liked some of the things, like how they, how they tricked all the war heroes into thinking they were on a submarine.
Yes.
And
the old Mission Impossible fake room.
Yeah.
Yep.
And the what's the guy's name? The Drusilla's
Robert Hayes is the
Robert Hayes.
Corporal Jim Ames.
Yeah, Robert Hayes. I confused him when we were watching the original Drusilla episode. I thought that guy was Hayes.
Oh, okay.
So it confused me when we were watching it for the show, and I was like, wait a minute, that's like not the guy from Airplane,
right?
But I don't know. It's good. I just didn't like it as much as I remembered liking it.
Okay. I liked it a lot. I thought it finally made sense. So we've had all these episodes where the Nazis kidnap the war hero
Hmm.
to, because it's going to destroy the morale of the United States, which I always thought was a stretch.
Yeah.
So I like in the fact that this is a pretty blatant. So we're going to kidnap these four war heroes, take them back to Berlin, so that we'll still make the documentary. The United States will promote it while we secretly take their four war heroes, put them on trial in Berlin, and humiliate the United States. That's a much better use of war heroes, and that would demoralize the United States.
Yeah.
So I like the fact that we kind of this whole season. Many of the plots revolve around Steve being a war hero and being kidnapped, and we finally get sort of the payoff for that. So I like that about the finale a lot.
See, what I'm wondering about the next couple of seasons is, like you said, the kidnapping of the war hero motif happens a lot in
Yeah.
season 1.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking, how many times can they do that?
Yeah.
So I'm curious in season 2 how many times secret agent Steve Trevor gets kidnapped.
Correct. Yes. OSI or
Yeah.
fake OSI.
Yeah.
I a couple things kind of I thought threw it off a little bit were, I mean, I didn't mind Corporal Jim Ames's storyline as being as a coward who sort of fell ass backwards into being a war hero.
Yeah.
And then who has to, but I thought it was very risky on Wonder Woman's part to pretend to take a bullet, which I'm not quite sure how she did that. Pretend to take a bullet in the hopes that Jim would suddenly find bravery and take on the Bremer with the gun. I'm like, that's a lot of and be able to tackle the guy without being shot. That's a lot of hope for Wonder Woman.
And that was one of the things that got me.
Yeah.
First of all, it would have been hilarious if she takes the bullet and he's like, and he runs and jumps out of a window, and then of course the Nazis just start shooting everybody. But I would have liked it more, but I know they couldn't have done it. But he probably, maybe he could have jumped on the dude, the gun went off, and he dies a hero because he did a lot of
him and Han, yeah. I thought it was. I mean, it made me wonder if this is why they hired him for Airplane. I mean, because I could see him afterwards. Like, say he failed, then he gets the drinking problem. But and George Zip and Wonder Woman, the two things that ruined my life. But
like in Airplane when he'd do the flashbacks, it would be like clips from Wonder Woman,
interposed on it. Yeah, and I thought it was odd. The other thing that I thought was odd was them kidnapping his parents to get him to turn. That was, I thought, an unnecessary complication. So you could have just said somehow the Nazis that he accidentally, captured, they got word back to the Berlin that they they're going to expose him as a coward. That would have made more sense.
Or he got captured by the dozen Nazis,
right?
Taken to a camp, brainwashed, turned into a sleeper agent,
correct.
And then when the whole thing where Wonder Woman shoots and he's just like, oh, he's so conflicted.
He breaks it,
he breaks out of it and then jumps and then bang and then
dies. Yeah, that would have been a much better ending. Yeah,
like the end of Marty Robbins' El Paso. He's laying there on the ground and one little kiss from Drusilla, goodbye. 15-year-old Drusilla.
Yeah, that was a bit problematic, wasn't it?
Yeah, well,
clearly
it was the style of the time.
Yeah, I mean, 18-year-old. He had to be at least 18, right?
Oh, he was a corporal, so he's probably 23 years old.
Yeah, on a 15-year-old. Yeah, they kind of emphasized that too, which I thought was unfortunate. I do think that the episode underused Drusilla.
Yeah.
So instead of getting her, she didn't really do anything as Wonder Girl. I think there was a couple punches and a kick, but for the most part, she's hid in the corner in the end. I got to wait for him to be a hero.
Well, the finale though, the fight scene that was pretty decent.
Yeah,
but again, it wasn't enough to bring in two basic powerhouses that could just single-handedly fix World War II.
Yeah, and it kind of and the fact that the whole Paradise Island celebration, it didn't quite it would have made more sense had it been a 2-hour finale where then something happens on Paradise Island. It just kind of it seemed like a lot of extra plot that they didn't need. And so I'm kind of wondering where that was going. If it was
Yeah,
going
but
somewhere.
then we run the risk of as happened a lot in the '70s. Two-parters
Yeah.
could have been one, and one-parters should have been two.
Yeah, but I would have done a second plot. I would have had, them go back to, I don't know. It just seemed weird that to have Drusilla, maybe they were contractually obligated to bring her back
Yeah.
one more time, one more episode. So it just seemed odd. I think they could have done the whole thing without Drusilla. But anyway, that's just a minor quibble. I mean, because of course I enjoyed her being in it. So,
Yeah.
but I think plot wise it could have been tighter. So, but not. I mean, it's just weird how you've got to wonder. We probably should have done our research, as someone will say in the comments. But it's odd how it ends with no indication that this is the end of season 1 as World War II. So I'm wondering if they had no idea when that decision was made to advance into the 70s.
Yeah, like if between this episode and when we start doing season 2, maybe we'll do a little bit of digging.
Yeah,
Maybe
we'll
we can
get the
find
answer.
a skinny onto why the shift.
Well, we also watched. There was a documentary on the back of or at the end of the disc, called "Beauty, Brawn, and Bulletproof Bracelets: A Wonder Woman Retrospective."
I believe it's on YouTube.
Yeah, and Alex Ross makes a point. He's interviewed, makes a point of saying what made. Yes, Alex Ross of comic book art fame, most famously Kingdom Come. And the Spider-Man or the Marvels. He makes the whole point of that he loved the fact that it was set in World War II. They really went back to the roots of the character.
Yeah.
So I'm wondering, since to me it worked with you have built-in villains, you have built-in plots. I'm really curious about why they changed their minds.
It could be so much as period pieces. Period pieces are expensive.
Yeah, that's true.
As many, as many costumes and whatnot as Warner Brothers has on, or whoever produces had on their back.
It's Warner. No, it's Warner Brothers. Well, it had to be Warner Brothers.
Yeah, because they were driving around with the truck.
Yeah,
but they even said like WB Studios.
Yes.
In one of the captions. But period pieces are expensive.
Yeah.
And my thing is, as a kid, and even as an adult, I look back at the moment. I don't remember too much about season 2 and 3.
Yeah.
Other than maybe like the diving suit episode.
I can remember the motorcycle episode.
The motorcycle, skateboard.
Yeah,
the gimmick of the week. The little robot dog. Yeah. I was a huge fan of like superhero stories from World War II. Mm-hmm. And that's, I think, what got me hooked initially with the series. So I'm curious, like I said, my fond memory is for season 1. So it'll be interesting to see if the other two surpass it or.
Well, I'm worried, right? I'm worried that we'll go from an interesting premise, which I really do. I agree. The World War II premise, I really enjoy because as we point out tonight, they didn't always have to do Nazi episodes. They had the mob. There's a whole set of. There's years of storylines they could have done in World War II.
Mm-hmm.
And so why switch to a typical 70s action? I'll be curious. I'll be curious to see how it works, if it works.
And something else that this episode missed for me was what was the blonde spy starlet's name?
Gloria Beverly.
Gloria Beverly. There was the opportunity because you could see when she was slinking off stage, when she helped capture the one war hero,
first guy,
when she was being told basically that's enough, we're done with you, goodbye, and she kind of like skulks off, like slinks away. I thought it was going to come back around so Wonder Woman could have a talk with another. Don't be don't play men's games.
Right.
Be your own. Do your own thing or whatever.
But you have acting talent. You don't need to do these things to get your roles. Yeah.
So they missed that one for me.
You're right. Well, one thing I thought was interesting too was in the documentary. they talked about Douglas S. Kramer, who produced the show, also produced Love American Style, which God, it made sense. Once he said that,
Yeah.
I'm like, I can see the imprint of Love American Style all over the way he produced this. It just made total. I'm like, oh, that makes total sense. That that does that. So, but I thought it was. I like the fact that. I mean, they knew. Well, unlike Bionic Woman, where Lindsay Wagner didn't expect to become a female icon, they kind of went into this pretty much knowing that there's a good chance, we're going to ride the wave of feminism. We're going to ride, and she's going, but then to find Linda Carter, as they said, to like who just is Wonder Woman. Who else? There is no other.
Yeah, like what year was it that Miss Magazine put Wonder Woman on the cover?
Yeah,
everybody knew who Wonder Woman was.
Yeah.
Unlike, Bionic Woman, because she was a made up property for the
Right.
show. So, yeah, they knew what they had going into this and what they, and like the one dude was talking about, everybody has their expectation about what they want for a show.
Right.
When it comes to bringing a character to life.
They got it.
Yeah.
Well, and I think it's interesting too that it's not, this setup, maybe in its own way, turned us a little bit away from the Batman 66, where superheroes don't have to be comedy.
Yeah.
And so, because this is definitely not cut as we worried it would be. It's not cut from the Batman 66 cloth.
Yeah.
And so I think that they made it a very serious. I mean, you take her, you take Christopher Reeve. Those are our, they sort of embodied the more comic booky hero side of things than we have now.
Yeah.
Bobby Farouk, just like the country.
Let us know what you thought. Did you enjoy our walk down memory lane of season 1 of Wonder Woman? We're probably going to take a little break for the holidays from Wonder Woman and come back in the new year. But we do have some other holiday specials we want to work on.
Yes, with an emphasis on holiday
special.
So if you can maybe glean anything from that, knowing what you've seen,
what we watch, yes,
you might have an idea what we're planning on doing. Yes,
but we definitely are coming back to Wonder Woman because I am curious.
Yeah.
I really am curious to see where it goes and if they can pull it off.
Yeah, I just don't want to suffer from series burnout.
No, right. We need a little break. Yeah. So, let us know what you think.
Yeah, let us know what you think. While you're down there, don't forget to do all the YouTube things. Like, subscribe, hit that little bell notification so you don't miss a single video.
Enjoy your Thanksgiving whenever this is aired.
Yes.
Or I hope you enjoyed your Thanksgiving.
Or your Friendsgiving, or whatever it is you do or don't do.
Right.
So I guess we're going to wrap this one up.
Yep.
Thanks for coming along for season 1 of the wonderful world of Wonder Woman. I'm Paul.
I'm Mark.
Thanks for watching.
Yep.